House Democrats have released what appears to be an image of a suggestive birthday message that President Trump allegedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. The card, part of a trove of subpoenaed Epstein files. Joining us now is NBC Washington correspondent Alice Barr. Hello, Alice. The president denying having anything to do with this letter, and the White House even arguing that it's a fake and that he didn't even sign it. What's behind putting this out? Do you know?
So the House Oversight Committee has been looking into the Epstein investigation, excuse me, and trying to respond to, calls from many people of all political stripes, many people in President Trump's base that want to see all the Epstein files released, something that, has been discussed for a long time on the campaign trail by President Trump and those around him, most especially. And initially, yesterday, House Democrats on that oversight committee, they released this letter, the one in question. And then shortly after that, the committee went ahead and just released everything from this new trove of documents that they had subpoenaed from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. And they are in this kind of tricky spot where they have said that the House Oversight Committee has said it's going to get a hold of everything it possibly can and then go ahead and make it public. And as they're doing that, they're facing some pushback from the White House, which has now said, well, while President Trump has said he wants, everything public, he has also said that he believes a lot of what's happening right now is a hoax perpetuated by Democrats, as he's put it, despite the fact, again, that it's been largely Republicans that have been pushing for a long time to have these documents released. And President Trump has also said that he thinks there is a lot in the Epstein files that could wrongly implicate people. And so now here's an instance where this is likely embarrassing to the president to have this close of a connection drawn between himself and Jeffrey Epstein. We did know that they socialized in the 90s and then had some kind of falling out more than 2 decades ago. But to see it kind of in black and white that, they apparently had a friendship, if nothing else, that's what this birthday letter would suggest. So the Republicans on that committee, are kind of dealing with some pushback and the potential for embarrassment while also trying to uphold their promises to be transparent and to release everything they possibly can from the files. Yeah.
We touched earlier on ICE actions, a raid here in Georgia at a Hyundai plant. Now it seems to be moving on to Chicago. What do we know about this new operation?
Wanting to have a real crackdown in Chicago on crime and on immigration as well. And the Department of Homeland Security has confirmed that it's launched a new ICE operation in Chicago. They're calling it Operation Midway Blitz and have sent in ICE agents and, federal reinforcements. To this point, there has been no sign of threatened National Guard deployment. That's something President Trump has been speaking about quite a bit in order to crack down on crime in Chicago. So no sign of the National Guard, but a surge in federal resources focused on detentions of undocumented migrants. And we anticipate a similar process to what we've seen here in Washington, D.C. and other cities in terms of checkpoints and just stepped up efforts to identify people who are in this country illegally and to detain them.
Alice, it seems like the state and city leaders are calling this all unnecessary, but there seems to be a new Supreme Court ruling that may limit their pushback. What's the High Court saying?
Right. So the Supreme Court ruled in a separate case in Los Angeles that restrictions on ICE operations in L.A. should be lifted. That puts a hold on a lower court ruling that had blocked patrols and raids based on broad criteria like just speaking Spanish. The White House is rejecting allegations from many critics that this is all racial profiling. The White House insisting ICE detentions are based on a multitude of factors. Chesley.
All right. Alice, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.